welcome to another episode of Mr. Attack, and I gotta tell you, I am so excited I can't even do my traditional intro. Today we are gonna rip apart one of the worst movies ever nominated for Best Picture, The Help. Based on the best-selling novel, The Help is the story of a group of black maids in 1960s Mississippi who overcome racism, prejudice, and segregation to help a white girl write a book. For those of you who remember my Forrest Gump review, this movie is similar in a lot of ways. For one thing, it gives us that same patronizing, sugar-coated view of the South during the Civil Rights era. Now, to be fair, The Help does try to be a little more realistic, and by that I mean it features a lot more pooping. This movie has it all. Babies pooping, maids pooping, racist white women pooping, dirty diapers. As it so happens, the Civil Rights Movement was all about where people could and could not take a shit. The movie begins with... You! The heck?
Anthony Q. Mendo!
Who the hell is that?
Haha! It is I, the Rosen Hacker, and on behalf of Scott Pilgrim fans everywhere, I demand satisfaction!
Oh, come on. What? Scott Pilgrim? When have I ever said anything bad about Scott Pilgrim? Hey, fans of Scott Pilgrim, you're the reason why I don't play video games anymore. You suck. You suck, Scott Pilgrim sucks, and I hate your sucky, stupid faces. Well, okay, maybe once or twice in jest
Silence! You shall pay for your insolence with your miserable life!
Okay, let's just bury the hatchet. I'm sorry for what I said about Scott Pilgrim. And to show you just how much I truly care, I made you a pie.
You mean you sent me this?
Yep, I made it myself.
But we just met 2 minutes ago. How do you know my address?
Silly child. I found out your address the same way I find out everyone else's. I've been stalking you for months.
Whoa, chocolate pie, my favorite!
Great. So, we're even now? Even Stevens? Because I kind of need to get back this review of The Help that I'm doing.
Wait, you're reviewing The Help? I hated that movie! I hated the book too, I had to read it for school. Can I join?
Well, I guess if it means the end of this pointless introduction sequence.
Sweet!
As I was saying, this is a film where the Civil Rights Movement is all about poop. Babies pooping, maids pooping, and of course there's the matter of a chocolate pie with a very special ingredient.
What do you put in here that makes it taste so good?
What's this about chocolate pie now?
Oh, nothing. Why don't you tell them what the movie's about, Rosie?
Well, unfortunately, The Help is yet another movie about the black experience filtered through the eyes of a white character. But this time around, the white savior is a recent college grad with a silly name, Eugenia Phelan.
What? Really? Just because your name's Phelan, you want me on here?
Though apparently Eugenia was a little too dignified, because for most of the movie she's called...
Skeeter! Skeeter! Skeeter!
Don't ask me how they got Skeeter from Eugenia, though I do have a few ideas.
I should take this time to point out the most important aspect of the character, and that's that she's played by Emma Stone.
Rosen?
Emma Stone. Emma Stone.
Emma Stone.
Who the hell is Emma Stone? I'll be in my bunk.
She's pretty.
Emma Stone? Well, that just came.
Alright, come on, Clank. Jump up there. Thank you. Oh yeah. Oh, Emma Stone. How hot. I love her stuff.
Wait a minute. Emma Stone? Rosen, you told me Wario was going to be in his Jareth outfit. You liar.
Well, that completely necessary aside, here's the plot. Skeeter comes home to Jackson, Mississippi fresh out of college. We immediately know she's special because she doesn't want to get married and have babies like her friends, and she actually wants to have a career as a writer! Back then, they had a word for women like that. Lesbians.
Do you, find men attractive? Are you having unnatural thoughts about girls or women?
Oh my God.
Because this article says there's a cure. A special root tea.
And it's Michelle Bachman approved.
Mother, I want to be with girls as much as you want to be with James.
What? Damn it!
Skeeter suddenly discovers racism exists, which makes her think more about the black maids in town. She reminisces about the maid who raised her, played by Cecily Tyson, who might actually be as old as Miss Jane Pittman now. These memories inspire Skeeter to pitch a book idea to a New York editor about the personal experiences of black maids told in their words. The first maid she decides to interview is Aibileen, played by Viola Davis.
Aibileen starts out the film beaten down and tired, and ends the film being beaten down and tired. Because why experience a character arc when you can just stand around being noble? Sadly, she's a standard, magical black character who lives to make white folks happy, even when they treat her like trash. I mean, they even make her use a separate bathroom so they don't catch her black cooties.
But to explain why, we first must meet Hilly Holbrook. Basically, it's Bryce Dallas Howard playing the most cartoonish villain scene outside of He-Man cartoons. She's president of the High Society Ladies Club in Jackson, and also she's racist. By which I mean, she's insanely racist, even for the time and place this movie is set.
So, nobody wanted to hire a sass-mouthing, thieving Negro. Did they?
She's obsessed with not sharing bathrooms with black people. In fact, she wants the city to pass a law saying that homeowners have to build separate bathrooms for their black maids.
Wouldn't you rather them take their business outside? Oh, it's just plain dangerous. They carry different diseases than we do.
You know, I'm not entirely certain if she's supposed to be racist or just OCD.
Actually, she's almost normal at first, but then she goes all American History X on everybody when Skeeter won't write about her bathroom bill in the Ladies Club newsletter.
Put my initiative in the newsletter. Okay?
That's nothing. The last time Skeeter's dad took a penny without leaving a penny, she nuked his house. She's got a sassy maid named Minnie, played by Octavia Spencer, who somehow won an Oscar for this performance. One day, Minnie gets extra sassy and pretends to use Hilly's bathroom, and naturally Hilly flips out and fires her.
Get off my toilet!
Minnie pretends to apologize by making a chocolate pie, but as we find out much later, that pie is actually a sick and twisted act of revenge.
Oh man, this is delicious. What's that?
I'll give you my recipe later. Skeeter tries to get Aibileen to help her with the book, but Aibileen says they could go to jail for this. She goes to the library to look up Jim Crow laws, and it turns out wanting to write a book about black housekeepers is actually illegal in Mississippi.
I'll say this for Jim Crow laws, sometimes they get hilariously specific. Yada yada, Aibileen doesn't want them to get involved, but then she does get involved, then she tries to get Minnie involved. They're both reluctant until...
They done set a bomb off the Megan Evers carport.
Yes, they just happen to know Medgar Evers. I mean, that's a completely plausible scenario. I was just talking about that the other day with my friend Che Guevara. And now that we've been told who Medgar Evers is, the movie can have him get assassinated in the very next scene.
He died within an hour at a Jackson hospital.
So, this is going to totally motivate them to get involved in the book, right?
Actually, no. See, shortly after this, Hilly's new maid asks for a small loan, but Hilly turns her down in a way that's even more cartoonish than she's been in the rest of the movie, honestly.
As a Christian, I'm doing you a favor. See, God don't give charity to those who are well and able. You need to come up with this money on your own, okay?
So the maid finds a ring behind the sofa and decides to pawn it instead. And then she gets arrested, and that is what motivates all the other maids into helping with the book. Yes, an important civil rights leader is murdered, but that's not enough for them to break their silence. But someone is arrested and sent to jail for a crime they are guilty of. And that's what gets all the maids to line up to want to talk to Skeeter?
Damn, the only way this movie could get worse is if they constantly had a black woman talking about how much she loved fried chicken.
I love me some fried chicken. Bill's on the Mississippi on my great auntie's sofa. Next, I put the green...
Oh, dear God.
Oh, there's a lot more, unfortunately. See, if the movie had actually stuck to the story of Skeeter's book, it would have been a lot more tolerable and about an hour shorter. But no, It's filled with pointless subplots, including one where we have to spend time with this woman, Celia Foote. Ah, yes, the obligatory hillbilly who's too stupid to be racist character.
Hate!
Is it just me, or does she bear a striking resemblance to T-Bell? Somehow, Jessica Chastain also got nominated for an Oscar for this performance, even though it consists mostly of wearing a push-up bra and being the live-action version of Luann.
After Minnie gets fired, she goes to work for Celia, who's a pathetic mess of a human being who has to be told the most basic things about cooking.
Well, I reckon if there's anything you ought to know about cooking, it's this. Got gum in your hair? Got a squeaky dough hinge? Crisco. Got bags under your eyes? Want to soften your husband's scaly feet? Mm-hmm. Crisco.
Need to regrab the tile in your shower? Crisco. Want to get intimate with your wife when you're out at KY? Crisco. But seriously, this whole subplot goes nowhere. Celia easily could have been cut out of the film without affecting the story. Did it for this guy, who's here to be Skeeter's love interest despite only appearing in 3 scenes. And I haven't even gotten into how Skeeter's mom has cancer, even though it never matters to the story. Though when you really get down to it, you could probably cut Skeeter out of the entire movie without changing the story too much.
Well, the book is almost finished. Skeeter plans to publish it anonymously, but they're worried about people finding out who wrote it.
Maybe we need us some insurance.
And at long last, we find out what the deal is with the pie.
Pie's as good as always, Minnie.
I'm glad you like it.
Wait, what's in this pie?
That good vanilla from Mexico. And something else real special.
What's in the pie, Mendo? What's in the pie, Mendo? What's in the pie?
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Eat my shit.
What'd you say?
I said eat my shit.
Have you lost your mind?
No, ma'am. But you about to. 'Cause you just did.
Yeah, this movie just turned into sallow.
You shit in this pie?
I made it myself, remember? Get it? Made it myself?
You shit in this pie?
To be honest, I'm a little surprised it took you this long to figure it out. I mean, you said you read the book, right?
I never said I finished reading the book. I gave up after 20 pages.
Well, this is awkward.
You know what? I've had worse.
Alright, so after 2 long hours, the book is finally published. Hilly gets her comeuppance, and Skeeter's rewarded with a big-time editing job in New York. Meanwhile, Minnie gets to stay a maid for the rest of her life, and Skeletor gets Aibileen fired.
So wait, the only person who experiences anything positive is the white savior character, but the black maids put their lives on the line. They're back where they started?
Well, more or less, but the important thing is that the white character tried to make things better, and that's all that matters. As my good friend Count Jacula once pointed out, the main fallacy of movies about race relations is that the main crux seems to be, things got better because white people felt bad. Yeah, that's not patronizing at all. But then again, this is a movie that has the unmitigated goal to gloss over the Kennedy assassination. They spend about 30 seconds on it, even though it was kind of important. Well, I can't talk about this idiotic piece of shit anymore. How you holding up, Rosen? Yes, well, I'm, not really sure what he's about to do, but don't do it at home, kids. So until next time, I'm Mr. Mendo, and this has been Mr. Mendo's Hack Attack.
All before I seen him beg, I made him plead for more, but I've never seen nothing better, babe. I'm a little afraid. I think your love might be a little too much for me, and I gotta say, girl, I wanna be down every day and night. Get sexual, just as long as you know my sexual capacity.
Oh, Emma, Emma, come to me. with your pretty hair and your pretty lips and your pretty skin.